With over 100,000 DVDs to choose from, including classics, new releases, and TV series, there has never been a better time to join Netflix. Visit netflix.com/labrats for a free 2-week trial. Plans start at $4.99 a month. You keep each movie as long as you want, and there are never any late fees. Cancel anytime, plus watch movies over the internet for no extra charge. Visit netflix.com/labrats.
Hello and welcome to Lab Rats, technology made simple and slightly funny.
And a little cheesy.
I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, we're going to do something kind of fun. Something that applies to you and your grandma and your mom and you.
And me.
And you. We're going to do what is a font?
A font.
Now, if you go to church, then you know it's like a little receptacle that holds like holy water. But we're not talking about that kind of font.
We're not?
No, we're talking about...
That's not overly tech related. It's
I
a
know.
different kind of tech.
It's a different kind of technology. A font, of course, is the letters on your screen. And we're going to explain exactly how they work, how to fix them, how to improve them, how to modify them, and stuff like that. And there's a special appearance from Captain Rasterizer.
I don't think I want to know.
It's going to be fun. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, what is a font? Today on Lab Rats. So, fonts. I'm actually looking forward to this episode because, everybody uses, text and they do fun stuff. They make newsletters and they do all kinds of cool stuff with fonts.
Yes, they do.
Including grandmas.
Including grandmas.
And grandpas.
Everybody uses fonts.
So let's define it. What is a font?
Well, a font, as you mentioned off the top, is basically what makes the little letters on your screen.
Or the big letters.
Or the big letters. Or the different letters.
Or the letters in between.
Right. So, for example, if you're typing regularly, you'll have letters on your screen. They'll look a certain way. They'll have a certain shape. They'll have a certain size. You can scale them. You can do them bold, italic, all of that. You can change it from that. You can make it into a Led Zeppelin logo style font. You can put any sorts of different lettering on there. Comic book type fonts, whatever. So
it's like this, the shape and size and kind of prettiness of the letters themselves.
Right.
And numbers, I guess, too.
Yeah, but how does it do that? Well, in truth, it's not just letters and different sizes of letters. What it is, it's a little program on your system that tells your computer how to draw that letter.
That's right.
And how to scale it to different sizes.
Very cool. Now, you need to actually understand that there's something called a rasterizer. And a rasterizer is kind of a program that takes information and reconfigures it and talks to the operating system and that sort of thing. But I know that sounds kind of complicated and, okay, what the heck is a rasterizer? Well, in order to understand what a rasterizer is, we need to meet Captain Rasterizer, my alter ego. Wait a second. Captain Rasterizer is here!
That's the wrong outfit, dude.
Oh, crap. 1 second. Oh, I broke your present.
Thank you.
Be right back. Captain Rasterizer!
That's the worst costume ever.
I put it together in a hurry.
You can tell. You can have this pig back. All right.
All right, so a rasterizer. What is a rasterizer, right? I think what we need to do is first get a little whiteboard because I'm going to show you what a rasterizer does.
All right.
Because I am Captain Rasterizer.
Very good. You take this piece of tape, and we'll just cover up your TV right here, and just put this right here.
Okay.
Because I know you want me to put tape on your lovely TV. Nice work over here.
There we go.
All right, so we're also going to give you this marker. So you are Captain Rasterizer, and I am the font.
So you're the font.
I am the font on the computer, and so what I have here is a set of instructions.
Right, and I'm sitting here hanging out on the operating system, whether I'm on the Mac or the Windows, doesn't really matter, right? Both operating systems have a rasterizer.
All right, so here I'm handing you this set of instructions here.
Yes.
This is how to draw an A.
This is how to draw an A. And
So-
as the rasterizer, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to talk to the video card and the actual machine, and I'm going to say, you need to draw pixels this way. Pixel 1 there, pixel 2 there, pixel 3 here, pixel, pixel, and then there, pixel, 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 is an A.
That job was as good as your costume. Now, draw it even bigger.
Captain Rasterizer now drawing a 64-point font.
In bold. Italicized.
Okay, hold on.
So the concept is the same. Use the same set of instructions that we've given you before to draw it bigger. And what it is it's using like vector instructions. It has a set of instructions that takes you from here to here to here to here, puts the pixels in various places, tells you how to scale it. It's not actually... Well done. So it's not actually hardwired into that.
64-point A. Sans
There we
serif
go.
type. That's how a rasterizer works,
So that's-
believe it or not.
That is how a rasterizer works.
Right, so you don't. So as an individual, right, you don't need to install a rasterizer, right? You don't need to go into the internet and download a rasterizer.
No.
It's actually a component right inside the operating system.
This is built right in.
So whether it's, I guess, and so would Linux have a rasterizer built in?
Every single operating system that has to display something on the screen will have a rasterizer.
Can I take my cape off now?
Nope. Nope, you're stuck like that.
All episode.
All right,
ahead.
so there's a couple things here. Is that when you have this font on your system, you'll put it into a certain directory on there. It will. There's some fonts that are operating system specific, but they're moving now into TrueType fonts and newer versions of TrueType fonts, which will work on any system. Will work whether it's on your computer, your printer, a high-end printer at someplace that's printing your magazine. But in general, it's a tiny little file with the instructions in there. And in general, if you download them from the internet, and we'll talk about that in a bit, you can put them on your Windows machine, onto your Mac,
Right.
wherever.
So the idea is that every single description of every font has descriptive information, and that's contained in a file. So if you look at my screen here, let's see if we can fire up the fonts folder. I'm going to type fonts here on. This is Windows Vista, of course, and Windows XP has a similar. I'm going to click on the fonts folder.
And you can also find this, I think, by going to Control Panel and choosing the fonts option there as well. It'll take you to the same place.
Exactly. So let's just look at. So as you can see, there's a whole series of files. I mean, everything from Acathlon Pro Bowl all the way down at the bottom to in fact, as you can see, there's zillions of them. So what's our last one here is WebDings, right?
WebDings.
WebDings is actually a collection of.
What, you don't have Zap Dingbats?
No, sadly, I don't.
Ah, too bad.
But anyway, as you can see, so the idea of managing fonts on Windows is really to actually put the font file, right, which describes the way that the font is drawn to the rasterizer, put it into this folder here.
Very good.
And this is Vista, but as I said, there's a fonts manager also built into Windows XP as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what about over on the Apple? I bet you it does it better.
Well, I'm not going to say that necessarily, but it's the same sort of situation. You have a special system directory that contains your fonts.
Okay.
But there's also a tool here called FontBook, which you can get to by going to Spotlight and typing in FontBook, like so. We've already got it up. And here it is, and it's just essentially like a Windows Explorer window here where you can actually go through. And unlike the Windows thing that you were just showing, it actually allows you to preview what the fonts are all in one preview window. Now in Windows you can click through and see what it looks like, but then you have to close and then open up the next one.
Right.
But the same sort of situation here. You can look at preview what the fonts are, change the size depending on what the scale of is, and it's mentioned in numbers here. Size 30,
that's
36.
point size, right?
Point size,
Right.
right. So it's based on the old lead type method of old printers where you'd actually have little bits of lead that would be slotted into the right place.
Right, got it. Okay, good. I just want to mention, too, in the case of Windows, you can actually double-click on the file like I just did, and this will actually display the font and the different sizes and that sort of thing, and you can
Right.
actually print these pages as well.
Yes.
Right. Now, I should mention that I think, and I was sarcastic before, but I do think that Apple manages fonts a lot better because you get an automatic preview, and you can just scroll through them as you go. Now, there is a little program I found called AMP Font Viewer. You'll find it on twocows.com, and we'll put the link up here. But here it is. I've opened it up, and it just lists all the fonts down the left-hand side, and just like on the Apple, you can go down and basically...
It's a very quick way to preview through the different ones. So if you want to find a font that suits your mood or what you're trying to do, you can just scroll down and find the one you need.
That's right, exactly. Good. And then you can use it to uninstall fonts too. Now that said, on Windows, you can just select the font, push delete, and it will actually remove it off of the system as well.
Yeah,
Although I suppose it won't take it out of the directory.
No.
Sorry, out of the registry.
And to install font, that's an important part as well. If you have that Led Zeppelin font is not in your system and you want to bring it in there, you would just drag it into that directory or use the thing on the side of the Windows folder that says install font there. And same in Mac, on the font book, you actually have under the file menu, you have add fonts and you have validate fonts so you can make sure that they actually work properly on the system. And then you have remove over here as well.
Very good. Okay, good. Now, we should ask, hey, where do you get your fonts, right? Of course, they're not just hanging from the trees. Captain Rasterizer doesn't put them in your Christmas stocking. Nope. Your fonts come from somewhere. So where do I get fonts from?
Well, I put this question out to some of our favorite people that work in graphics.
All right.
Rick MacMurk of macmurk.com came up with a few ideas that he uses as an imaging professional. One of them is fonts.com, which I believe he likes quite a lot. He says dafont.com, which he's not quite as sold on. Has a lot of good stuff. Other people have pointed out that this has a lot of good stuff, but sometimes they're a bit flaky.
Now, are these free, or do you have to pay for them, or what?
Some of them are free. Some of them you do have to pay for. So high-end fonts, there's a lot of professional level fonts that you can pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, and that's partly licensing, partly the delivery and all that. But there's a lot of free if you look out here, and a lot of these ones in these sites are free.
I also should mention, if you go to your local computer software store, if you don't shop on the internet, you can actually buy box fonts, right? You can install them. They usually have an installer built into them, at least on the Windows side of things. I would imagine that would be the case also in the Apple world as well.
Yeah.
Very good.
And a couple more sites really quickly. There's comiccraft.com. There's blambot.com. These are Rick's other things. And Chris Thompson, a.k.a. Chris24. He had a couple of compendiums here on Delicious, and we'll include the links here as well. So he's got a bunch of his free fonts and a bunch of his free and paid fonts.
Fantastic.
So.
Thank you, Chris24. Okay, so we have a very special guest coming up next. Her name is Cheryl Poirier, and she's actually being added to the Lab Rats cast and part of the mayhem that is Lab Rats. We promised that it's technology made simple and slightly funny. Well, it's going to be a lot funny with Cheryl around. Easy. There you go. Thank you for improving my costume. All right, well, let's meet Cheryl when we come back after this message. Now, a little while ago, we kind of alluded to a couple of improvements on the show. Well, we have our best improvements so far. And I'd like to introduce you to Cheryl Poirier. Come on in there, baby.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hooray, Cheryl.
Awesome.
So tell us a bit about
Thank
yourself.
you.
You're joining the cast of the show.
I am,
Yeah.
yeah. I have my own little web TV show, too.
Yeah.
Hey,
HeyLady.tv.
lady.
Hey, lady! Yeah, it's great. It's
Very
awesome.
cool.
And now you guys have asked me to come and join you. I'm really excited about it.
Right,
So what are
very
you
I'm
gonna-
psyched.
Cheryl, what are you going to be doing for us on Lab?
You know what? I'm going to be sourcing free files for the content that you guys are talking about.
Very cool. So you're going to do little 1-minute reviews and that
Little
sort of thing?
1-minute reviews, good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down,
Very cool.
that kind of stuff.
Starting the next show.
Starting on the next show, yeah.
Very
Awesome.
good.
Thumbs
And
up.
I think I might also be helping you with your costume choices.
I think I kind of needed some help.
I think that's a good idea.
Hey, I have a first task for you.
Yes.
Can you get rid of our raster board as you go?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll just peel the tape off. From
Yeah. Try not to hurt my
No,
television.
it doesn't look good. Cool.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
See you next show.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Bye, Cheryl. It's going to be fun. Girls on the show.
Yes.
Actually, we call her Lab Ratette.
Lab Radettes.
Okay. All right, moving on. We should look at some pictures because it's my favorite time of the show. Picture time.
Just because we're adding stuff doesn't mean we're taking that away. And we've got a few this show, too.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Philip, who's in Edmonton.
That's not Edmonton.
This is not Edmonton, although this could be in the West Edmonton Mall. I think he's actually in Paris here.
Got it.
So there we go. Thank you, Philip.
Very cool.
Now, a while back, we had someone complain about our orientation in our logo.
Right.
And
Left
this is
and right, right and left. Yeah. We
Ben
were
Brand
over.
from Seattle.
Yeah.
Decided to take matters into his own hands and actually put us in the right orientation here.
Oh,
So people
thank you.
obviously aren't getting over this.
I know.
And
Get over it, kids. Just
just-
more to life than logos.
there you go. And this is actually Ben himself doing the editing work on
Fantastic.
his system at home. And
Hire
that's
that
it.
man.
Ben is in Seattle, if I didn't mention that already.
Seattle. Oh, I like Seattle. They have their own little CN Tower or their own little.
It's a wannabe CN Tower.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ben. If you want to send your pictures, you can send it to
Feedback at librats.tv.
not too big, not too small, just right.
Yeah, make sure you use the right font to do that as well.
Exactly. And rasterize it first.
Can we actually download the LabRats font somewhere?
Probably can.
Actually,
we'll have to
our
ask Mr. Huntress.
Yeah, our graphic designer will have to tell us about that. So.
Cool. Well, if you
All right.
want to see more episodes about Lab Rats, go to our website at,
Labrats.tv.
and that's about it.
It is for now.
Super duper. Thank you so much for checking us out today and pushing play on your player. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
We'll see you next time with Cheryl.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
Bagada bandiga, di ba nagadabadik dish na bada?
Wah, siya pada siya balik ka na.
Di bada. My mother dagabadi.
Really?
Boshi mother
Pada for this?
artichokes.